Getting regular medical checkups is an often overlooked but essential component in the fight against visceral fat. While lifestyle changes like diet and exercise are fundamental, they don't operate in a vacuum. Your underlying medical status can greatly influence how your body stores fat, particularly in the visceral region around your organs. Some people struggle to lose this dangerous fat not because they lack discipline or effort, but because there are unseen hormonal, metabolic, or inflammatory conditions that alter how their bodies regulate fat storage and energy use. Visceral fat is not just cosmetically undesirable, it's biologically active tissue that contributes to systemic inflammation, insulin resistance, and increased risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and even certain cancers. So when someone finds it unusually difficult to reduce belly fat despite following a healthy plan, it may signal deeper physiological disruptions, and this is where medical evaluation becomes vital. One of the most common hidden drivers of visceral fat accumulation is hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid gland. This condition slows metabolism, reduces energy expenditure, increases fatigue, and makes weight gain, particularly around the abdomen, more likely. It also worsens insulin sensitivity and can alter lipid metabolism in ways that promote fat storage rather than breakdown. Without proper diagnosis and treatment, no amount of calorie restriction or exercise will fully correct the underlying imbalance. Blood tests to check levels of TSH, free T4, and possibly thyroid antibodies can help uncover this issue and guide appropriate therapy, which often results in improved fat loss once hormones are rebalanced. Polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, is another condition strongly linked to stubborn visceral fat. Affecting millions of women, PCOS is characterized by hormonal imbalances, particularly elevated androgens and insulin resistance. These disruptions lead to increased abdominal fat deposition even in women of average body weight. PCOS can also trigger cravings, fatigue, irregular cycles, and mood fluctuations, all of which compound the difficulty of sticking to a weight loss regimen. Medical management may include medications like metformin to improve insulin sensitivity, hormonal therapy, or targeted lifestyle interventions tailored to this unique hormonal profile. Beyond these two common conditions, there are many others that can silently contribute to visceral fat accumulation or make fat loss harder than it should be. These include chronic inflammation from autoimmune conditions or gut dysbiosis, sleep apnea, which disrupts sleep quality and raises cortisol, high cortisol from chronic stress or Cushing's syndrome, insulin resistance that hasn't yet progressed to diabetes, or even long-term side effects of certain medications such as antidepressants, corticosteroids, or beta blockers. Regular checkups also allow for early detection of metabolic syndrome, a cluster of risk factors that includes high blood pressure, elevated fasting glucose, abnormal cholesterol levels, and increased waist circumference, all closely associated with high visceral fat. Identifying this early provides a critical opportunity to intervene before more serious diseases take hold. Many of these markers don't cause symptoms in the early stages, which means blood work, physical exams, and body composition assessments are needed to catch them. In addition to identifying underlying health conditions, routine medical visits can track progress in a more meaningful way than weight alone. A person may not see drastic changes on the scale, but improvements in fasting insulin, liver enzymes, triglycerides, or C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation, can reflect real reductions in visceral fat and improvements in health. These objective markers often improve before physical changes become visible, providing encouragement and validation that lifestyle changes are working, even if slowly. Moreover, regular medical guidance can help ensure that any fat loss methods being used are appropriate for your health status. For example, someone with adrenal fatigue or a history of eating disorders may not benefit from intermittent fasting or high-intensity workouts, even if those approaches are effective for others. Personalized recommendations, informed by lab results, family history, and current medication use, allow for a smarter and safer path to reducing visceral fat without harming overall health or triggering burnout. It's also important to recognize that aging changes how visceral fat behaves and how easily it is lost. Hormonal shifts in menopause, andropause for men, or declining growth hormone levels can make visceral fat more persistent. Routine medical evaluations can help determine whether these natural aging processes are involved and what interventions, lifestyle-based or clinical, may be needed to address them. In short, regular medical checkups are not a passive process, but a proactive strategy for uncovering hidden causes of visceral fat accumulation and ensuring that the methods you're using are aligned with your body's needs. Fat that builds up silently around the organs is one of the most dangerous health threats, but also one of the most reversible if you understand the root causes. With proper testing, personalized treatment plans, and a holistic view of health, you significantly improve your chances of successfully reducing visceral fat in a sustainable and medically sound way.